What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Hitagi Monogatari. Tonight we're at episode 1 of Koimonogatari. So, last episode was Oni Monogatari episode 4. The short TLDR for Oni Monogatari was basically saying goodbye to Hachikuji, which was kind of that kind of all was realized in episode 4. But, you know, that's what Oni Monogatari as a whole was building up to, right? All the mystery of the darkness and stuff was, oh, wait a second, like, it's all because of Hachikuji, right? And her not supposing to be here, which is also kind of a fun thing because you can look at her, like, with the rules of the oddity stuff, but also more of, like, her as the inner child to Araragi and that whole deal. So it works both ways, which is really fun. And also really sad. And not sure if fun's the right word. But let me real quick just, boom, get the console on the screen. So, we're walking into Koi. Koi's the last what's it called, arc in season 2. I am thinking we're probably going to do another tier list for the characters after Koi, because then that's like end of season 2. A couple people have said that's a good time. If you think that's a good time, maybe let me know or not. I don't know. That's the loose idea of doing another tier list then, because it's fun to kind of see where things shifted. And I remember like shafting Hanakawa on the last one, and that's gotta be adjusted. Because after Tsubasa Tiger, you know, things changed. So yeah, let me real quick just go top to bottom with the comments, maybe do a little bit of scroll through, and then jump into Koimonogatari. Yeah. So, starting at the top with Platinum Cappy, my Cappy love it. Yeah, so this was a reminder. One thing I was yapping about is I had forgotten why the cram school burns down. It was in Tsubasa Tiger. The thing specifically, and I'll say it to like jog your memory too if you're not entirely sure, was this, where she had, if I remember right, it was Hanakawa slept at the cram school, and then it burned down the next night because the tiger was burning down everywhere that she had slept, right? Wasn't that it? Because she had like slept at the cram school, and it was like weird she slept there, and then Senjuga showed up and were like, why would you do that? Why would you sleep here? That entire thing, right? And then the tiger was burning down the things she envied, which also just included those locations, right? Because like her house, then the school, yeah. So yeah, pogged. That's just something that slipped my mind because, you know, it's been a minute. And that's kind of something I won't really get into this here. You can read this. Just that it is kind of the Monogatari. I'll read a little bit, actually. It is kind of the Monogatari experience to forget things, remember things, rewatch things, recontextualize things, FBI comes knocking on your door things. That's just how it goes. And I totally agree with it. That I think, like, it's a show to be rewatched, which makes it kind of a weird relationship where everyone here, or I'd assume everyone commenting are people that have seen the show already. Obviously, I have not. So it's kind of always a weird thing. But, you know, that's the fun of it, and I'm totally down. But, yeah, so we're locked in on that. This was a really adorable thing on Hachikuji. So, at the end, when Hachikuji does her last I stuttered thing, like after she kisses Araragi, which is still so sweet. That was easily my favorite of the... Because we had 3 kisses in the arc, right? That was easily the best one, like, without question. And so another translation of it, which I really like, is... and I think we've seen this translation one time before, we've seen her say, like, sorry I bit my tongue whenever she, like, mispronounces Araragi. But another gag, or like what's it called, like play on words that you could translate is I bit your tongue, because it's like they kiss and then she bites his tongue. I just think that's even more adorable. And I totally agree that it's like a perfect, like that's a really good translation, because like a lot of the wordplay doesn't come across because your boy don't be speaking Japanese. But like I think that translation really does capture that really well. So that's really Pog to basically Pog. It is very ironic that literally, like, the youngest aged character in terms of, like their actual age, not necessarily, like, chronological age, but, like, the grade schooler character has been so mature the entire time, which is why it sucks so much that, you know, now she's gone. Stuck at 11 years old. What an age to be stuck at. One thing, and the thing that this arc kind of reminds me of so much, and it like recontextualizes it, is the Kabuki arc, which is kind of talked about here. And I did read through all the lyrics of the Kabuki OP, because it's like, okay, the Kabuki arc is like Araragi coping, right? And we kind of were like, one of the other interpretations we played with the Kabuki arc, which kind of has to do with like this kind of stuff here, which I'll get into in a little bit, is that it was like all the delusion that Shinobu created with her power to like, with that kind of oddity ability that she has, like the power to delude or whatever. So it was like not literally them going through time, but rather they just constructed a time in which this happened. But it was like a fake thing like the entire time, like, you know. But it's like, it makes the entire arc feel like what they just wanted to happen, because the truth of Hachikuji not being able to stay was like, whether they know it or not, kind of hanging over them. Because it's literally like, okay, I want to have a world where Hachikuji doesn't die, because then she doesn't have to become an oddity and she can stay with me. Without having to be an oddity, because that was like a big question. And that's a question that instead of actually talking to Hachikuji about, they like started doing all this stuff about, right, in Kabuki. But turns out what's dead is dead. We can't, like, Hachikuji can't grow up and be an adult. Like, she has to be a kid, a dead kid, right? That's just what Hachikuji's supposed to be. So it's like, she's not allowed to grow up. So we take that out. And so the only solution then is, then she has to just stay this age and stay as an oddity, to which she, if I remember right, at the end of Kabuki was like, yeah, I'm down with that. Like, I like hanging out with you, you know? But then the conclusion reached in Kabuki also wasn't sustainable because of this entire arc. So it's just like they tried 2 times to save her, you know? They tried to make her not even an oddity, and then even as an oddity, they tried to make her an oddity that could stick around, but like neither one worked. So that's just, I don't know. They've just been trying for so long, and it sucks that out of everyone, Hachikuji has to be the one to take that L, right? Because yeah, I love her. So yeah. The 5 stages of grief thing is fun. The denial, the anger, the bargaining, just, yeah, the entire, it's funny how we haven't, like the depression part, I feel like we haven't seen as much yet, because, and this is addressed here somewhere at the end, or somewhere, is that the end credit thing we saw with Ogi was like, I think 4 months later, if I'm remembering correctly. So there is a 4-month period, and he was also talking about like a war plan with Shinobu. So I feel like this loss of innocence that he's felt is going to have been something that's causing a lot of issues, right? Like, it's going to make him maybe lash out at certain things. I'm only getting that because of the war plan idea. Maybe he's in some way being attacked by well, no, I feel like he would be the one lashing out. Well, I don't know. But yeah, we haven't, I don't know, we kind of jumped from the goodbye straight into the acceptance a little, right? So it should be interesting to see like how he deals with that void in his heart, because he does have all these other characters to kind of fill it with, you know, Senjugahara, Shinobu, etc. But he's never been a person to accept a loss, right? He's always fought so hard for each individual, to the point that he even, in the moment with Hachikuji, was saying that he would run away with her, kind of thing. And I feel like he would do that for like most characters, you know? That he would be willing to run away with any of them and kind of like almost like abandon the rest in that way. But it's not even like, I don't know. I don't even think he's thinking as far as to abandon the others as much as he's just trying to save the one in front of him. Like, he's just constantly bouncing between that. Must get tiring. Yeah, and then this was something that was crazy to me. So we know that this is all happening at the same time as Tsubasa Tiger, right? Does it line up that because where is it here? Addressing Tsubasa Tiger, true. The tiger burnt it down because it's the manifestation of Hanakawa's jealousy / envy. Blah 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 was burning everything down. Crazy. Oh wait, where was that comment? There was a comment that literally like got me tripping. Was it here? Yeah, right here. End of Tsubasa Tiger, she even mentions that she had been lost since she met Hachikuji. Could we say that she was lost since she met Hachikuji, but then at the end of Tsubasa Tiger, she wasn't lost anymore because she had like found her way home? Because, you know, she like walked into the house with her like new hair and was saying like the conclusion of Tsubasa Tiger, could we say at that point she wasn't lost anymore? Because then it's almost like when she's getting found at the end there, that kind of completes her lostness that Hachikuji was a part of. And so once that wraps up, then Hachikuji, Hachikuji isn't like part of anything anymore, right? She's like pulled out of the formula because Hanakawa's done being lost, and then Araragi hasn't been lost for a long time. So at that point, Hachikuji's got nothing left propping her up, in which case then the darkness comes and gets her. Because I kind of feel like because of just how Tsubasa Tiger's literally like overlapped with this arc, that it could line up that Hanakawa coming home was kind of one of the final straws that made Hachikuji go away, because at that point there was no one else that was lost, that was tied to Hachikuji. I felt like that could line up, and that could be cool. I was kind of thinking in my mental that the Hachikuji leaving was the day of Tsubasa Tiger, so that the rest of Tsubasa Tiger had to happen at night, because like Araragi showing up with the sword. So it doesn't maybe perfectly line up, but perhaps I'd have to watch Tsubasa Tiger. I'd have to rewatch Tsubasa Tiger to freaking put that together. Also makes it interesting that after this event with Araragi, he's supposed to go save Hanakawa with a sword, like soon, like maybe night of, because I think it's supposed to be night of him losing Hachikuji, which really shows how much, like, he probably wasn't in a great mood when he did that. But Hanakawa, despite whatever Araragi was really thinking or really going through, she saw him as like the heroic hero with the swaying kind of I feel like he had a, like, not like a cape, but like, his shirt all torn apart and swaying in the wind, and him in the sword and all that. He's silhouetted by the moon probably. So, I mean, that just shows how much what's it called? Unreliable narrator diff. Also, yeah, shout out the Discord. If you're trying to talk spoilers, that's usually the best place to do it. If there's spoilers in here, I always ask like mods or people from the Discord to check so that it can get deleted before I go through and read it. Because yeah, if you do be spoiling, it do be getting deleted. If you have problems with that, probably talk in the Discord. Bet. Wait, okay, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper, by the way. Let me just shout out Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, look, you can have a sip. One sip. Okay, one. Last time you took two. One. Very good. Okay. Incredible portrayal of his character. Yeah, shout out Araragi. I love Araragi. Jealous of the idea of a home. All that. Because, yeah, during Tsubasa Tiger, she kind of, I don't know, like she was kind of finding a home, right? Or like at the end of it. I don't know. We already talked about that. I don't need to go back into it. Can't help but feel like a lot of the comments about how Hachikuji dies were rewatchers being cheeky. That probably, that's probably true, which is really funny, because I kept being like, no, they don't kill characters. They don't do that, because they really haven't. Like, and it was in here, like, Numachi was someone I kind of forgot, but other than Numachi, like, what, Guillotine Cutter? He wasn't a character, and Numachi was kind of made to be killed, right? Like, that was the twist, was that she was dead, in Hana, whereas that twist with Hachikuji was way back in Bake, and she's just been being chilling since then. So it's just crazy that they killed a character not as a as a twist in an arc, but as like an actual like character that's been chilling for so long. But yeah, that's funny. Is that also? I like that profile pic. It reminds me of Basil a little bit from Amori. This was the Kabuki OP lyrics, which is just terribly sad. I did listen to Happy Bite. I'm not going to listen to it. Well, nah. I don't know. We got the lyrics. I don't need to listen to it. I don't need to listen to it with you guys. I already listened to it myself. And a lot of this recontextualized is just so sad. Like, maybe eternity does exist. I got bad news. It doesn't exist. You have perished. The unexpected happy end is what I'm starting to hope for. And then we didn't get to have that, right? Nothing's actually impossible is what you make me imagine. Well, nope. You'll always turn my happiness into unhappiness into happiness? Not anymore. Find me wherever I am. That's just so sweet. That little thing can change fate, it's like a fated thing. I mean, that was Kabuki 101, but then that was also kind of the darkness coming in. Lost but not at a loss, I met you, fooling around and playing with you with all its mundane joy might one day become of the past, but I'll always, always love you. That almost sounds like last words, Like, it might one day become of the past, which now it is in the past because, she's gone. But despite that, she'll always love Araragi, which is very, very sweet. And that's what that kiss was, And it's, man, and it hits so much harder because the entire time it's been, the joke has been the sexual harassment stuff. But you know, all along we know that she was fine with it, right? And they even had to like they've had conversations between Araragi and Hachikuji of like, we good with this kind of thing, like, and then she's like, bro, you're ruining our joke, you're ruining the fun of it by even like talking about it, which kind of shows him being like not comfortable with his inner child stuff, which I'll get into here in a minute, which has some like good stuff. But for all of that, like all that jokingness to just go away and to have that really genuine moment hits so much harder because of how much we've had that jokingness the entire time. Basically true. I basically just agree with this, probably. Pink is smart. You know what? We'll see. I'm not gonna... No comment on that. We try our best. Okay. This is like Gain stuff. So Gain is in an interesting spot. Also, before I even talk about Gain, the reason I don't have my freaking what's it called, whiteboard up is because I had my whiteboard up, but then it fell and it hit the cord that was my computer's plugged into the wall with, and it turned off my computer the other day. So now I'm like terrified of hanging it back up because it's gonna knock everything down. Just letting you know. I don't want to like get my computer shut off where like you just see the whiteboard fall and then the recording stops. That'd be so funny. But no, we're not trying to do that. Okay, so Gain is kind of a little rat, but I'm kind of okay with it because I trust the rat. That's kind of where I'm at. So it's like, and it kind of, this kind of goes into this here, right here, where it's like Gain's a character who she knows everything, or so she says. She knows everything. I'm gonna take that at its word for this moment. She knows a lot. She is smart cookie, and despite that, she's like, she like the way she talks is kind of condescending. You know, we have had Hanakawa and Araragi both like get annoyed by her, and she, like, if you have all the answers, but then you don't just like tell everyone what to do, then you're like perpetuating it for nothing. But then when she does tell Araragi like the situation, which it doesn't even help him at the end. It literally just is like, yeah, you're hoed. She does so in exchange for the 3 favors. Kind of taking advantage of Araragi being so desperate, you know? So that's kind of rat behavior, which, you know. But the line that changes it for me, because, like, you could say that, like, she's held responsible for all these horrible things that's occurring, like, with all the audience and such, because she could fix them but doesn't. And, like, yes and no. It is, like, first off, kind of an entire moral question itself of, like, oh, I know that someone's about to die, but, like, I don't help. Like, how much am I held responsible? Like, I don't know. I don't know the legality of that. I'm sure there's a bunch of different laws in a bunch of different places. And not that law is, like, a perfect indicator of morality or anything. And there is, like, some responsibility, but it's, I don't know, it's a unique situation already. The thing, though, that makes me, like, give her the benefit of the doubt is... Also, like the Superman reference, Superman's a really fun character with that idea, right? Which, let me talk about Superman first. F it. Like, what's so interesting to me about the Superman character is how if he intentionally takes time to not be helping everyone, even if he's hearing out all the time, because if he pushed himself and run himself to the bone, helping everyone all the time, then he would, like, break apart. So, like, I think a part of that character is the whole, I know I'm randomly talking about Superman, but I think it's interesting, is the whole, like, he still has to take care of himself, because if he only focused on everyone else, then he would break apart. So it's like, you know, you can't help everyone, even if, like, you don't have the time to help every single person, even if you can help every single person. And even if you could help every single person, not necessarily you should help every single person if it would, like, wear you apart and destroy you. Because then you can't help anyone if you're destroyed. So... I don't know. And that's an entire another conversation that's really interesting to have. I'm going to stay away from most of that. The thing with Gain that lets me give her the benefit of the doubt is that she says that it's for balance, right? And it's in like 3 minutes and some change into the last episode where she's like, I don't like situations where you have to come to me for help. It makes for poor balance. She says something like that. So it's like, I kind of trust her as a balancer and as a older student to like the Oshino Kaiki Kaginui gang. I forget the word, like a grade up or whatever. As that kind of person, I do kind of trust her to balance properly. In which case, just telling everyone the answers to everything, I'm going to assume that she doesn't do that because there's a good reason that that's not good for balance, right? That you need to be careful in how you dole out that information. So I'm kind of, and we haven't really, we haven't talked to her much about it. We're kind of just getting little jabs. And so I'm trying to withhold myself from just jumping at her because, Araragi is like, saying like, oh, you're doing, like, his mental thing during the thing is like, oh, you're doing bad at explaining, like, this is an explanation, and like Hanakawa was getting annoyed, so like all the characters are like getting annoyed by how like condescending she is, but like, I don't know, the condescendingness doesn't really bother me because it's like, if you can back up your talk, then talk, she knows everything, so for her to say, oh, I know everything and I can tell you the answer, you just gotta do stuff for me, like, yeah, you're being condescending, but guess what, you're right, you do know more than me, so like, I don't really have a problem with that as much. And like her taking advantage of Araragi, like, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I have a trust in her being a balancer that there is good reason for why she does what she does. Though maybe I'm just being too benefit of the doubt, and actually I should think of her more as a hoe. Like her personality, her personality's kind of grating and annoying, but I think she has a potential for like being like not being evil, like being more of like a neutral, or maybe like a good, but it kind of depends what we're saying by good and neutral by oddity stuff. Just I trust her as a balancer. I think. And then yeah, when she helped Hanakawa, she literally was just like, "Oh, you caught me at a good time. Here's some information later, dog. I got stuff to do." So she's just giving the hint. I'm fine with her giving hints. Like, give me hints, man. Yeah, and it's not like she's forcing. It's not like she's putting people in bad situations and then taking advantage of them. She's just taking advantage of situations that exist, which is like kind of grind set behavior. Is it the guy in grind set? Is that confirmed? I don't know. Hachikuji is a very sad character. I kind of mentioned this with like even in Kabuki, like she always gets hoed. She just gets hoed. Her highlighting herself as the older character. Also, this is so smart doing the double timestamp, one for the episode, one for the video. That's actually 10 million IQ. Just gone from the ED, bro. She's just gone, bro. So true. Hits different. I literally have I just finished watching the Hachikuji OP. Before watching this one, this one is so chaotic. Just like, oh my goodness. But yeah, it's just brutal. This is the gag. I already talked about that. Last time Hachikuji will ever bite, I'm gonna die. Hachi actually is funny. What are you talking about? Araragi, so true. And then I did miss the reply in the last episode. I'm not like, this is just kind of kanji stuff of the kanji in darkness meaning disappear, which obviously like the darkness that we saw in the arc was a darkness that made things disappear. So like that's kind of cool. Or like the act of erasing. It's like you never existed at all. Because yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to take from it. That's just cool kanji stuff. Pogged. Darkness shows up when Hanakawa's house lights on fire. Is that specifically when it showed up? Because that could kind of be when Hanakawa came home, or like she stopped being lost because she started dealing with her house. So her house gets lit on fire. That's her dealing with her house, which could only happen if she wasn't lost anymore because she had to come home to the house for it to light on fire, in a way, with the whole tiger thing. So, yeah, I mean, perhaps right when, like chronologically, right when Hanakawa's house lit on fire, or like right when she came home to light the house on fire, whether it was the tiger doing it and that counted as her or whatever. But as soon as she started dealing with the house and dealing with that trauma in whatever, Tsubasa Tiger, then the darkness shows up because now no longer is anybody lost, that's connected with Hachikuji. Which makes it kind of a dub that Hanakawa took so long to deal with her trauma, because that means we got more Hachikuji time. So you know what? Maybe the good ending, Hanakawa never deals with her trauma, no Tsubasa Tiger, we just get Hachikuji forever. Instead of Araragi having to like go be lost with Hachikuji in the mountains, we just have Hanakawa always lost wandering around. Bet. Yeah, let's just sacrifice Hanakawa to the oddity rule gods. The foreshadowing since Nisei is just horrible, and sad. Maybe do an Ogi check, review Ogi scenes. I'm going to review the Ogi scene from this last episode because your boy was kind of still in shock from the Hachikuji stuff. So, like, I don't know. There was some weird stuff she was saying about her job being, like, the darkness and, like, ending things that need to be ended and killing liars, or, like, dealing with liars or whatever. I mean, she pushes people into traffic is, like, the analogy. Like, that's what she has been doing, of ending things that she thinks need to be ended, right? Making things that are under the surface get brought up and dealt with. But the thing about liars is, like, specifically interesting because, like, I don't know. There's so much lying and nonsense going on. So, are you gonna start fighting people that are lying? Like, are you and KAIKI about to, like, bam, you know? And I, like if Ogi and KAIKI fight, my money's on KAIKI. Like, you saw his running speed, okay? He'll be up in your face and throwing that mean, like, right hook. He'll have, like, a bundle of cash in his hand, too, to, like, pat it out. You're donezo. The KAIKI special, the KAIKI hook. Should I get into the big one now? Yeah, let's dive into the big one. So this is a really interesting interpretation of what the darkness even is. So the way it was described to us in the arc by Gain is that it's like the rules of oddities, right? An oddity has to do what an oddity was, else it's no longer what it's supposed to be doing and it gets erased. Which, I don't know whether I believe it or not. And this interpretation gives, like, a completely another way that, like, is kind of saying that that's not the case. But I don't know. Like, there are oddities, and they form around belief. And so if an oddity is no longer connected to the belief that formed it, then that does kind of sound like a rule violation. But what, there's this force that's walking around that is, like, enforcing that rule, especially when, like, Araragi exists, and, yeah, he exists, and he can believe in things. His belief on Shinobu influences how Shinobu acts, so his relationship with Hachikuji as someone that he, like, hangs out with as an oddity, as not an oddity that makes people lost, but as an oddity that, like, he actually gets found with, and he, like, walks around with, like, his own belief of Hachikuji in that way, what, like, that's no longer valid? Like she's somehow still connected to the root of her oddity thing? Like, oddities can't change in that way? Because, yeah, that's almost like what the darkness is it's like saying, oh, oddities have to stick to their original oddity stuff. They have to be done in that way. They can't change into a new form. Which, at the end of, Bake, friggin' Mayoi Snail, she says, like, oh, I graduated or whatever. It's like saying, no, you can't graduate. And it's like, but why not? Like, if people believe in your graduation, then surely you can graduate? Yeah. So there's a little bit of an ambiguity there. This interpretation is that Shinobu's delusion magic, which was seen in Kabuki with the whole, alter time thing, is a black hole of depression to take away everything from her that she thought she didn't deserve to have. And that's why, of course, she doesn't think she deserves to be, like, seen as a god back in her backstory 400 years ago or whatever, so the darkness comes to take everything away. And then Araragi uses that same, like, black hole of depression to take away things that she doesn't think she deserves to have. Araragi uses that same thing to take away the thing he doesn't think he deserves, his innocence, Hachikuji, the inner child, because that's where his mental spiral has led him, that as much as he is attached to Araragi, as much as his desperation attaches him to Hachikuji, at the same time, he believes himself a monster, and monsters, of course, don't deserve to have that connection with innocence and with purity and with, the inner child, all that stuff. And I like that a lot. It's just, the thing that I'm unsure about is I don't know Shinobu that well. Or, like, Kishot, rather. Like, I don't know why Kishot, or how Kishot became a vampire specifically, because you become a vampire, right? And maybe this was explained in, like, Kizu or something, and I'm just, like, losing it. But I don't remember the exact, like, her birth as an oddity, Or is she, like, a true-blooded vampire, and, like, because that's always, like, a thing of, like, the original vampire bloodline, and all the other vampires are just connected to her. Is that the case? I don't know. So, it makes, because I don't know if she has this manifestation that's taking away the things from her that she thought she doesn't deserve to have. Because, I mean, she was kind of speaking that way a bit in the episode, 2 of Koi that we watched. or not Koi, of Oni? Yeah, of Oni that we watched, where it's like, yeah, I don't like, she felt weird about it, but I don't know. And so like that she doesn't deserve to have. But then because I'm thinking specifically to the part where she loses everyone that like worships her except for the general guy. The vampire hunter guy, her who would become her minion. That guy's still chilling, still around. So is it like her black hole of depression is taking away everyone, but she's still kind of in the same way that Araragi held on to Hachikuji for so long. She's still holding on to who would become her minion because of her attachment to this person specifically. So like this is her like bargaining stage, you know, where she's just like, please let me just hold on to the one thing. I know I don't deserve it, but I need it, you know? Is that like that kind of equivalent? And so her connection to the minion, then the darkness catches up, but then she still is so desperate that she's clinging on to that little last piece of him, the hand, and then she, you know? Is that kind of what happened? Because I like it. I like it thematically a lot. It's just, like, why would Gain lie about it? And the comment does go into that somewhere in here. Oh, frick, my eyes. Okay, let me just top to bottom it. Araragi summoned it. Ononoki's been trying to hint in this direction from the start. Quote, the chance it's a phenomenon related to an ordinary oddity is a lot higher. Which could reflect back to Hachikuji because it was targeting Hachikuji, or you could be saying that it's coming from Shinobu, Kishot. It's also a little bit of a question of like, Kishot's supposed to be a lot less powerful, so why is this darkness? Is that how to? She's supposed to be like weakened, and so I'm trying to tell if like I think that this darkness being summoned from Araragi's connection to her, if like she's strong enough to do that unconsciously. Because as Kishot, she's mad OP. Like, let her do her thing. She's an oddity. She's the king of oddities. But as Shinobu, I don't know. Like, why not? You can just say that she is powerful enough for that, but that's a little bit of something to think about. As a monster, he doesn't think he deserves those things, but as self-hatred grows, so does his desperation to hold on to these things. I like that a lot. I totally agree with it. It's like him doubling down, like the desperate, like, last chance, because it's what's keeping him sane, but he also is, you know, doesn't consider himself worthy of being... It's like what's keeping him human or whatever, but he doesn't think of himself as worthy to become human, blah, blah, blah. Human's not quite the right word, but, you know, true and real, I like that a lot. This is Pogged. The Cram School, which is a place to learn things you should already know, a nod towards Araragi's arrested development. I like that. Now, I like that. Because, I don't know, I never really put that together, and I feel like that works so well thematically that he is kind of he kind of got stuck, you know? And this entire show has been him getting unstuck and growing out from that period. And so for it to all be tied to this cram school, I like that a lot. And it is also fitting that the cram school burns down. Because this is like, I feel like this last episode was a real, like, bam, gut shot for, okay, Araragi's character is changing now. Because we've always had adjustments, we've had him growing, like, opening up to people, shifting here and there, but overall he's been pretty consistent. I feel like now's the time that he's really going to get to change. And we did see at the end of Hana Monogatari, right? Like, your boy was driving a car. That's not the Araragi special. That's the Araragi what is that. So there is a lot of change to happen, and I feel like this is like where the school burns down. He's no longer arrested development. His inner child is gone. You know, he has to say goodbye to her. This all occurs when he's detached from Shinobu, who is like rooting him to the trauma from Kizu and rooting him to like a lot of the suicide stuff that he's probably become stagnated in, right? So it's all happening at like the same time, which is, you know, I've been ready for there to be a really big shift during this entire arc because of the detachment from Shinobu specifically. Like, that's literally like prime time for this to happen. But the school burning down and Hachikuji disappearing are both like just laying on the stacks, you know? I really like this fake monster, real monster, inner child like trio fighting interpretation. So like Vampire's fake monster because it can become human again. Ononoki's a real monster because she do be just kind of a doll. And then Hachikuji is like, you know, like just the innocence, inner child, all that kind of stuff. And like this entire thing here, like let me find it. Bling, 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 bling. wants to tell his shameful story without telling it, but it's not just because he doesn't want to be direct, it's also that he can't. Woo! Goes back, blah, 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 blah. Indulging in despairing. He definitely do be indulging, trying to, go for the Hachi. Oh yeah, and then this is what I was looking for. So Gon, a reason that Gon could be lying to Araragi about this is that she doesn't want to make Araragi aware that he has control over the black hole, which is like, what would happen if we did? If we said, yo, Araragi, guess what? This is your inner depression destroying things you don't think you're worthy to have due to your connection to Shinobu letting you do this. Then would it be like, I could almost see that going really poorly, which would give a reason why Gon wouldn't tell him, because I don't think he thinks he deserves a lot of things necessarily, right? Especially Hachikuji, but and that's what it was doing. But if you like gave him the key to destruction, I mean, he's so ready to destroy himself constantly. So giving him the power to black hole destroy things, or darkness, is really risky. So yeah, I could kind of see that, but like, and that could be like Gon trying to preserve the balance by like telling like a myth, like a lie to solve Araragi's situation without giving him the power that would let things fall out of balance. But I don't know. I'm just having to make a lot of assumptions because we're assuming that Gon's lying, and then assuming that she has good reason to do so. But I don't know. It feels like it could be valid. It's just hard to say. Tells him a story that feels into his sense of lacking agency, and he buys it despite how full of holes it is. Ononoki has no power to go against her master. Specifically, we do have Ononoki sitting on Gon's lap. So that's kind of like, that could be Gon saying, like, I'm going to lie to these people. Ononoki is the only person that could really tell that I'm lying. So I'm going to put Ononoki on my lap to tell Ononoki, like, you're my doll, okay? You are not going to resist. You are mine. You will sit here and let me lie to these people. So, I don't know. I really like the kiss interpretations as well. He recoils from the true monster, Ononoki, because he doesn't want to deal with the deeper issues. He appeases Shinobu wanting to be kissed, so he's like, fine, like, I'll deal with the monster, but it's the fake monster. And then he's utterly, like, shocked that Hachikuji, like, wants to, like, show him that love, because he considers himself to varying degrees a monster, and it's like, oh, well, like, that's been the entire thing of his inner child getting taken away, so for him to be like, oh, wait, like, the inner child loved me, that's just a really crazy, like, it's almost like kneecapping his like, not self-destructive, but like his monsterification of himself. It's like, because how would a monster be loved by something like that, right? So it's like as much as he's becoming a monster, he's also getting kneecapped in it. Shout out Hachikuji for kneecapping Araragi. And so he quote despawns his innocence. That's funny. I just like the term despawn. And then yeah, the thing at the end takes place a month later. They did say that, like, 4 months, I think. And so yeah, definitely something to look out for how he's going to respond to the next few months. I mean, that's probably what Koi, is that what Koi's going to be? Him having him losing it a bit and something, I don't know. I wonder if Pink will notice it. Notice what? What's happening? Oh yeah. Flash forward in Hattori. Bro, what are the names? Hattori Monogatari. I'm literally gonna have to look at my own. I'm gonna just look at it. When was Hattori? Community? No. Playlists. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut this out. When was Hattori? Hattori was Sengoku. Okay. Bet. Yes. So Hattori, Ogi, because Ogi was being a freaking rat in Hattori too. Hattori looking for Hachikuji. Like, what are the reasons that Ogi's acting that way? The two that I can think of is, and kind of would get mentioned here, is Ogi's just being a rat and is, like, mocking us. Which, I don't know, like, Ogi is kind of a rat, but I don't know if Ogi's that spiteful. I wouldn't really consider Ogi that spiteful. Or it's that Ogi at that point wasn't aware, like, Araragi hadn't told Ogi about it. Maybe Ogi was, like, actively looking for Hachikuji, and that's what led Araragi to telling Ogi about Hachikuji. I could see that having happened. But maybe it's like, Ogi's trying to find Hachikuji because Ogi's aware that Hachikuji is supposed to, like, not exist anymore, kind of similar to the way that the darkness was supposed to, like, this is counter to the rules of the oddities, right? Perhaps Ogi was, like, thinking that similar thing in like, acting as the darkness, trying to go, you know, basically kill Hachikuji by dealing with the Hachikuji situation that wasn't dealt with. Yeah. In fact, she didn't actually know at the time that Hachikuji was swallowed by the darkness before Araragi told him, then interesting contradiction. I wonder if people notice it. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I don't notice the contradiction. Well, because it's like, I feel like my gut reaction is that Ogi's looking for Hachikuji. Ogi doesn't know. Well, why would Ogi know that Hachikuji was swallowed before Araragi told him? Would Ogi know that? Ogi do be kind of smart. I mean, Ogi knew all about, like, the Numachi stuff. Ogi knew about all the freaking Ononoki stuff. Or, Ononoki. No, the, snake girl, Sengoku. Know about all the Sengoku stuff. So, for Ogi to know about the Hachikuji stuff could make sense. I mean, maybe Ogi just wanted to get Araragi to talk about it because Araragi's been, like, repressing it. Maybe Araragi doesn't want to deal with his loss of Hachikuji. And so Ogi looks for Hachikuji in order to make Araragi explain to Ogi why they won't find Hachikuji, which forces Araragi to deal with not having Hachikuji, which solves an issue, which is what Ogi's meant to do, which is to freaking make things happen. That's the Ogi special. Lots of points of view. We got Hanakawa with Nekoshiro, Kabuki and Oni with Araragi, Hana with Kanbaru, Otori with Sengoku, Koi yet to see. Although it's pretty obvious. Bro, I don't even know what the next arc's gonna be. I don't know if obvious is the word I'd use. Literally, it could be anywhere. Did I get the episode title? Maybe it's based off the episode title. I don't remember, like, if they gave the little, like, end credit scene. Like, I don't know what a koi means. Is that fish? Fish monogatari? I don't know. Who's a fish? There's no fish. There's no fish people. I'm literally thinking through, like, every oddity we've seen. I don't think we've seen a fish. We've seen a crab. We've seen a snake. We've seen, a snail. No, it was crab, snake. No, crab, snail, snake. No, wait. Monkey, snake. Oh, no fish. I mean, we can just assume main cast kind of thing. Haven't seen Senjo too much, so it could be a Senjo arc. Haven't seen, who else? Kanbaru, Sengoku, Hanakawa. If for some reason we're not having a point of view of an oddity, which I'll just accept that like, not a thing, then Hanakawa, Senjo, Kanbaru. Oh, either of the sisters. We haven't seen anything from Fire Sisters, so maybe it could be a Fire Sister themed arc. Or Senjo. I mean, I would guess Senjo, because Senjo's kind of feels more on the level of Hanakawa, Kanbaru, Sengoku as, like, the Bake cast, because it kind of feels like the Bake cast are getting their individual things. And then, of course, like, Shinobu and Snail, Hachikuji, got kind of Araragi to do it instead for them, because of their attachment to Araragi. So, probably Senjo, maybe the sisters, maybe Oshino, Meme, like Oshino meme, right? Meme meme, I actually don't know, I've always just called him Oshino. Maybe Oshino, maybe KAIKI. We ball KAIKI arc. Can we get a KAIKI arc? That'd be funny. Rip Hachikuji, never not cry. Yeah, I mean, it hurts even more looking back on it, honestly. This I thought was really sweet. That's why I was kind of relieved when you decided to watch Hana first, since you could enjoy some more time to be with Hachikuji. That is so true, actually. It's just so sad. This was a really good point of the fact that Hachikuji mentioned Italian means she was awake when Araragi was kissing Shinobu. True. And they kind of did say that of, like, Gon was like, Hachikuji, stop pretending to be asleep. Because Hachikuji's aware that the darkness is coming for her. So it's like, oh, well, if I'm asleep, it can't get me. Or something like that. Which, you know what? It was based off of Hachikuji was faking being asleep, right? And the people that were convinced by it were Shinobu and Araragi. They thought Hachikuji was actually knocked out or asleep. And while they were convinced that Hachikuji was asleep, the darkness wasn't attacking. So it's not even that Hachikuji... Dang, I think it really... I'm kind of liking this even more then, because it's like, it literally was based off of Araragi thinking she's asleep, not her actually being asleep. You know? Because if it had to do separate from Araragi and Shinobu and was just like the rules of oddities, then her faking being asleep probably wouldn't have worked because she's really awake. And I think the rules of oddities wouldn't be tricked out like that. Okay, I'm kind of liking the Shinobu delusion magic idea a lot more then. And yeah, watching this show weekly must have been crazy. Must have been wild. Yeah, brutal, absolutely brutal. Courage to tell a lie. True. Very true. Peak starting, pogged, crying session, pogged, ready for whatever happens. I just like this choice of emojis. Think about it, smirk, sob, character death. Try to guess who'll be the next one, and none is a perfectly acceptable answer. Ogi. Oh, no, not Ononoki. Let me think. Ogi's on the chopping block, potentially, because Ogi's just been such a rat. So I could see Ogi being attacked. What, Senjo? No. Well, in Hana, we didn't see Senjo with Araragi at all. Was that a mention? I'm intentionally not rewatching Hana parts, even though I kind of want to, just because of how much people were like talking about the like potential spoilers. So I'm letting myself have a foggy memory on Hana on purpose, so that if something happens, I'm caught off guard about it extra. I don't remember how much Senjo was brought up in Hana, because that could have been a thing. I don't think she's gonna die though. Oh no, I'm scared. Who else would die? I mean, Shinobu? No, not Shinobu. Ononoki. I mean, Ononoki's kind of just like chilling, so her dying could happen. I'd be fine with it. She just do be kind of a doll, though, you know. I mean, it wouldn't be dying as well. It'd be dying, but I don't think Kanbari was gonna die. I think she had her flirt with death in Hana, so this arc, so I think she's safe, right? Because I think if she was gonna die, it was gonna be as part of Hana. Rip Numachi. I mean, Episode might be a part of this arc, because we know Episode's walking around from previously. Kaiki, I don't think's gonna die. Loki Oshino, I don't know where Oshino is. He's been out for so long. And I low-key need to rewatch the end of, what was it, Bake, or whenever he left. I don't even remember exactly when he left. Might need to rewatch that to hear his wording. Because, like, I don't know, what if he just got hit by a car right when he walked out of the city? Right? And Ogi showing up is being, like, rat behavior that's, like... Because Ogi's pretending to be... Probably pretending, probably not true, that Ogi is connected to Oshino as, like, a niece or nephew, right? You know, I don't know how much I believe that, so maybe something happened to Oshino, and then that gave Ogi the chance to come in and do that stuff. This show's supposed to not kill people. They tricked me. Man. This ain't supposed to happen. Okay. And then, already talked about this. The rest of this I replied to in a comment. This I did think was funny. All minors kiss everyone in this arc. What's even left in the show to watch? That's just crazy to me. Monogatari moment right there. Okay. Oni Monogatari, is there anything I'm trying to do in here? Oh yeah. This right here. So this is Gon talking. She says, however, I don't like situations where I'm the only one who's relied on. Sorry, my audio's hoed. It creates bad balance. This line right here is why I'm thinking that I trust her to balance things properly, you know? Right? I don't know. Surely, right? What's her next line? So I'd like you, Koyomin, to let me rely on you. And then he's like, don't call me Koyomin. Because, I mean, think about it. I didn't like KAIKI when I first met KAIKI. KAIKI was a rat, right? Lying to people, freaking hoeing the Fire Sisters. I have a fidget spinner. Let me put that away. Don't fidget during the episode. That completely took me out of my mindset. That was crazy. But, you know, it took me a while to warm up to KAIKI, and I really do like KAIKI. And it's like, oh, like his kind of weird way of approaching oddities kind of makes sense in his own way, with like how like lies and truth and all that. So I'm thinking that her, like when she withdraws and gives information, is very intentional. I mean, like Oshino held things from Araragi a few times, right? Like if I remember correctly, she's just doing it, but she knows way more and is kind of being condescending about it, right? and kind of extorting for favors a little bit by taking advantage of Araragi, which was kind of cringe. You know, that's definitely a detriment to her, to me, to, you know, liking her. But and they're dealing with the Komburu based on Suruga's will. Oh my goodness, there's so many moving parts in this show. Why is she here? Oh, she's explaining things. It's funny that when she's explaining it, she's like in the cram school. Because there's like the desks and stuff. That's kind of a fun like visual motif that they use there. Oh yeah, and then even more in the cram school with the tree and everything. Crazy. Trapping her in the desks. It is like Arrested Development. I like that terminology so much. Hachikuji's dead. I mean, most of this was just explaining. It's the end of arcs a lot of the times are kind of like kind of a fresh thing. So I don't think I have that much to yap about. Terribly sad. Really liked the kiss. I was really surprised about how much that was very sweet to me and very heartfelt. Rest in peace, Hachikuji. My Hachi loved. Her fading away here. I'm just gonna mute it so that I don't get copyrighted because I'm gonna forget. Rest in peace. It is kind of funny that she leaves the backpack behind because the backpack's like the concealed monster, right? So it's like Hachikuji, the inner child, leaves, but the monster on her back is still around to be dealt with. Oh, Araragi, I know you're gonna have so much fun dealing with that. Oh yeah, the Ogi thing. So Ogi says this is what. So Araragi's like, yo, what's your job, Ogi? What you do for a living? Ogi's like, oh yeah, it's the usual, just like the overwhelming darkness that takes up most of the universe. Interesting use of darkness, because that's kind of what the whole arc was about, of like, the darkness is a problem. So, and calling it commonplace is interesting, and then she says like, oh, it's literally correcting the mistake and end what needs to be ended. What do you mean by that? Like, end what needs to be ended totally is what she's been doing, right? Like, oh, Sengoku's got a lot of Sengoku and, you know, she's got a lot of stuff going under the surface. Let's just bring that all to the top. Oh, Komburu, you haven't dealt with a lot of stuff. You got a monkey paw. Go talk to Numachi a bit, you know? Like, that's really in line with what I understand to be her. But then she says, if I had to describe it, I'd say it's like a job that punishes the liars. Like, saying liar is really interesting and makes me think she wants to duke it out with, you know, KAIKI, Loki. But it's like, in the way with the fake monster, real monster stuff with Araragi, where he's like appeasing the fake monster by dealing with certain surface level issues, but not actually dealing with like a lot of the issues underneath, which still don't know what happened to his parents, still don't know why he was so depressed at the start of Kizu. Like, he's got stuff that he hasn't talked to us about. Like, is that a form of lying? Right? Is Ogi going to try to punish Araragi? Is Ogi looking for Hachikuji a way for Ogi to force Araragi to deal with things as a way of punishing Araragi? Or punish the liars? Like, just what do you mean by liars? There's so many, I feel like, different ways you interpret it, because, like, what a lie even is something we've talked about with, like, KAIKI, you know, and, like, I don't know, it's just been such a thing of the arc, or, like, of the story, so. Ogi, can we sit and talk about it more? Like, I know you're out the door, but, like, stick around for a minute, like, we can, you know, I can Uber Eats something. Shout out the dog if you can hear the dog. And I just might end up asking for your powers to, oh, wow, the dog is tripping. I might end up asking for your powers to aid me someday, Araragi. I don't know. Why are you like this? I like your design, though. I like Ogi's design. Yeah. Okay, I do think I'm ready to... Wait, you already knew? Wait, what, Shinobu? That girl... I think you know this already, but that girl is probably something. Ogi's an issue. Ogi's probably, like, an oddity or something. Like, I'm ready for that. I just don't know what kind of oddity. What, like, is Ogi, like, a type of bird? Is Ogi a fish? Yes, Ogi's a fish. Okay. That's what Koimonogatari is going to be about. It's Ogi's perspective. Tricked you. Wait. What was this one? There are so many things I don't know about. I wish I could know about everything. Like Gaon? You want to be like Gaon? Oh, I just screwed up my subtitles on accident. That's cool. Can I get what this flashing bit was? Being sad about it, I think, and I've even stopped. Nothing I think about helps me. Yeah, okay, so he's just in, like, full depression. Man, and think about it. He's keeping it a secret that he's doesn't have his inner child with him anymore. That's a crazy secret. That's a crazy secret. I'm ready to watch the episode. I've been yapping for too long. My throat hurts. Bet. Second season, Koimonogatari, episode 1. Okay, Dr. Pepper. One more sip. Keep you going. Get yourself a drink. Get yourself a snack. That is a command. And let's watch Koimonogatari, episode 1. I've already yapped far enough. Let's just get into it. Episode 1. Episode 1. Let's get going in. Episode 1. Episode 1. Let's get going in. 3, 2, 1. Bam! KAIKI. KAIKI music. KAIKI music. KAIKI music. If it's KAIKI versus Ogi, bro. You've already fallen into my trap? I'll fall into your trap any day, KAIKI. The KAIKI perspective! Wait, that's wild. No, 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 you're gonna confuse me. Okay. Love story. And you're gonna lie to me about it a little bit? If I even exist, KAIKI, please. Crazy that's not Senjo's perspective. End of second term. Okay. Oh, shoot! That's my boy right there. Look at this, like, what, like, older anime stylization? Oh, my goodness. He chillin'. It's also interesting, right? Because Senjo, like, thought that she, like, had a thing for KAIKI. That was, like, an entire thing from the end of Nisei. So for him to tell the story... What's up, Crab? Is going to be interesting, specifically. The wound from back then. Yeah, it's like the old... Wow, crazy. Why is she, like, unraveling? So cool. It's like the past and the present, and they're using, like, a different style. Dang! Fast love. The snake? Why is the snake got the crab? Otori? Otori? Why is Otori around, man? Why is Sengoku around? That shot goes so hard. Bro. Handsome KAIKI, bro. The sun hat. Hitagi end? Huh? What? 1st of January? Oh no, not timeline stuff, please. Is this... What's this gonna have to do with Otori? How much is this gonna have to do with Otori? With the snake stuff, Sengoku? Oh, KAIKI, you handsome devil. What a fire OP. What a fire OP. Already lying to me. It's cool that we're actually seeing people. Because of the KAIKI's perspective. That's different from the Adaragi perspective. Find a good match. Okay. Oh, what's up, Senjo? You calling up KAIKI? Oh, who? Who? Sengoku? Sengoku? She wants him to deceive... Yeah? Yeah, KAIKI? Why? Senjo probably wants him to trick Sengoku. Sen Shogahara? Who is that? Oh, we're deceiving it. We're deceiving Sengoku so hard. Oh, are you now? I love how Senjo just completely plays with it. My regards. Whoa, crazy tree imagery. Yeah, I was gonna say, if they actually meet in Okinawa, I'm gonna lose it. Looks like they actually are. Whoa. Oh, first class, KAIKI! An inquisitive eye. Bro, this is gonna be such a hard arc to understand if he keeps lying to me like this. This errand bodes ill. Okay. Oh my goodness, dude. KAIKI's such a top tier character. Oh, she's sick of it. Are they both at the airport? Naturally. Surely not. Yeah, no. He was here already. He was here. Look at random people in the background. Such a fun thing. That's me. Oh, is he standing on one of those things? Bro, she used the... That's crazy. Not the loony glasses with the mustache. Not anything but that. Come on, Sensho Gahara. I feel like I had lost, been beaten in a competition. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. That's funny. It's actually kind of insane that they... I don't know. They have, like, good chemistry. Not, like, a romantic thing, but... Like, them two as a pair are so... Like, the way they're bouncing off each other is so fun already. I heard the question. What if it's an oddity? A snake god. What if it's a snake god? We need to convince them that we are dead. Bro, this music. Yeah? Shout out Araragi. For what? Man, she's good at negotiating. Yeah, I mean, if you do. Please, 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 please. Someone you sold a thing to. Someone you sold a thing to. It is kind of his fault. It is kind of his fault. Perfect sense. Maybe that's what she meant by, like, it's something else you did. Or, like, something else. Yeah. Because I was blaming KAIKI back in Snake Arc, in Sengoku Arc. Or not blaming, but like I was bringing up KAIKI a lot, you know? Well, I don't know. It's been crazy. There's been a lot of yapping. Hero of Justice. I love this music. Yeah, I mean, that is... It is an extreme case, so I don't blame her, you know? Ooh. Are you someone I know? You waitress. Dang, she had an actual face. That's the KAIKI diff. Oh, because we're gonna die by a snake god, yeah. Yeah. Is Sengoku actually gonna get kills? No way, right? No, KAIKI gonna KAIKI finesse. KAIKI finesse. Hmm. Man, Senjo is so based. How gloomy. How gloomy. That's kind of Numachi style. After getting off your chest, you'll feel better, and then it'll work out. Okay, yeah. Focus up. She a snake. No, no, no. This is much bigger than the crab. Oh, odd disease, oddity. You're hilarious. You're hilarious. An odd disease. That's so silly. I love that. I kind of thought he was there for a split second, but I don't. But he was at a different shrine. Okay, thanks, KAIKI. Of course I know it. Yeah, I know you know it. You don't gotta explain that to me. Dang, the KAIKI arc. Walking God. Why did Ogi do this? Bro, Ogi and KAIKI are about to throw hands. Because KAIKI wants to trick his way out of it, but Ogi wants it done legit, I think. Ogi wants it actually dealt with, you know? Well, I don't think KAIKI all about spinning. Yeah, I wasn't sure if he knew Sengoku or not. No, because he's the one that spread all the stuff. Yeah, the deception, but I don't think he knows her specifically necessarily, was my... What do you mean? Yeah. Because she thought she got cursed. Yeah. Yeah? Good shot, good shot. She spilled it. She spilled it. I feel like the atmosphere just changed so much since the right when she sprayed the juice. She took a very different tone. You know, like even her posture seems to be a bit more hunched. Yeah. Makes sense, makes sense. Help me. Wow, yeah, and she's really going back to the person who conned her originally. I wonder how it feels to save. Just ironically save them. Make it a joke, you know? Con yourself into saving them, right? Do what you gotta do. I did not say that. Wow, yeah. What's... Yeah, I'm curious what the gambit's gonna be. Like, make her think she killed them? That is Aragi-kun's lolly slave. Even if there are 5 more. I mean, there were a few more. But, you know, now there's one less. I'll give you $1. I'll pay for your coffee. Spot payment. Okay. Shout out my boy Oshino from way back. Yeah, I no idea what happened to him. Hanako went overseas for me to look for him. Wow, okay. She gone. She got her guitar and she said, I'm out. It's funny because she's being so like. I feel like he'll kind of accept this. And I know he's saying this, but I don't know. I feel like he'll make it work. Because she's so desperate, you know? Like, you can tell the way she's talking that she's really, really just got nothing else. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Good move, KAIKI. He was not having that. Dude, the KAIKI mirror scene. Just make it ironic. Make it a joke. Lie to yourself. Yes, Araki. I mean, KAIKI. An odd illness. So... Bro. Right. He's really crunching right now. True. Karen. Yeah, shout out the eggs. To wrestle some money out of Kagenui. A whale? Why is there a whale? Oh, I'm losing it. To try to find Oshino. Bro, something happened to Oshino and Ogi's the spawn. Yeah. Man, it's crazy though. He's trying so hard to find a reason for the job. Oh, Kombaru. The guy and child. Yep. The woman you loved, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, he was so spooky. For Kombaru's sake. Yeah. That's a yes! That's a yes, KAIKI! Bro, the KAIKI arc. The last thing I expected. Hi, Shinobu. Koimonogatari Snowdrop. Oshino! What are you at a karaoke? Oh, JK. Oshino, fine. He just had karaoke. Or is this a... Maybe this is throwback to when they were younger, because this is, that's KAIKI, right? And then, is this Araki? He do be studying. Because I guess it's like, she could have gone to Araragi, she could have gone to Oshino, and she could have gone to KAIKI, and she went with KAIKI. Well, she tried to go to Oshino, and then she ended up going with KAIKI. Snowdrop, yeah, Snowdrop. What are all these background things? Spiral staircases, plants, a claw game machine. Oh, Tsubasa Cat? Never saw Nakawa. Oh, this is... Ooh! Onanoki Squad, everyone. That was cool. Hachikuji in the TV. Rest in peace. My Hachi loved. She's at the bottom of this spiral, bro. Why is Onanoki, why are you bowing to me? Why are you curtsying? Aww. That was cute, that was cute, that was cute. The last previews of the long Monogatari series. Nadeko is missing. Will we make an appearance? I hear we won't. Okay, that is... I think it is KAIKI, that weird looking one. The age of ponytails. The Ponytail Sisters. It's canon, write it down, write it down. One day of Ponytail Sisters. Mankind cannot win against nature. Ah, yes, the ponytail. Meaning in nature. We'll be in the commentaries. Oh, shout out the commentaries. What is this last 2 seconds? Okay, just 2 seconds of black air. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Bro, okay. The KAIKI arc is going to be the best arc in the entire show. I mean, that's just how it is, right? Because it's KAIKI. Like KAIKI, it took me a minute to like KAIKI, but he might be like the most interesting single character. Like without going into like relationships with the other characters, but just like him himself. Like I've been waiting to sit down and have a coffee with him, and your boy literally got orange juiced in the face and then threw orange juice into her face within like 10 minutes. Though man, I couldn't. It is interesting. Like I feel like Senjo Gahara was really trying to tell him, like, this is how desperate I am. Because she was willing to, like, she said, like, I'm willing to sell my body. Which, like, if I need to, I can sell my own body too, right? Like, that desperation, she kept showing more and more of it as the episode went on in, like, her own way. And, like, that culmination is, like considering that she had, like, faced the sexual violence when she was, like, younger. And that was, like, the beginning of Bake, right? Like, that really shows how desperate it was for her. Which totally makes sense. And then so for KAIKI to actually, like, make, like, an emotional response in that way, similar to... And, like, needing to excuse himself because of, like, how... Like, I feel like that really kind of bothered him. So he was like, dang, I need to find any possible way to make this work. And he was like... And then he finally was like, oh, yeah, Kanbaru. Bro, Kanbaru's genealogy clutch. Oh my goodness. Good parent RNG. Well, bad parent RNG, but good for our current situation. This OP was so funny as well. We're going to look at OP ED in the next episode, because that's what we do. I hope from the bottom of the heart that there's... This entire meta beginning... So, this was crazy. I like this line. They have a desire to believe that what they know is the truth. In other words, the actual truth comes second to that desire. So more than someone cares about the truth, they want to believe in the truth. And so by wanting to believe in the truth even more, then perhaps you'll make something that's not true, which is the secondary desire, into something that's true to sate the first desire. I like that. That's interesting. I like it. Probably pretty true overall. Yeah. Optical illusion stuff. So, but he started telling me, like, be mindful of what is truth and what is a lie. Okay. So, I really felt like Senjo Gahara was being pretty genuine. Man, how much of this has been a lie? Any? And all? He came to the shrine to study the ecology of people in that nature. But why? But no, it was... He actually did it... In reality, maybe I went to wish for a healthy year or to find a good match for me. So he straight up... He literally begins with saying, I did it for X. Just kidding, maybe I did it for Y. Like, why are you being a rat? And then, of course, he, like, goes... So he kind of starts us off in, like, a weird ambiguous. Then he immediately, like, is, like, doing obvious lies of not knowing who Senjugahara is. Which it is funny how... Wait, his shirt changed. Not only... Because his shirt changed when he went from the suit into the beach thing, which is funny. Because he was, like, one-upping Senjugahara. Which was really funny, honestly. For her to just, like, completely break character and start laughing like that. I want to just... Because how could you not? and then he's happy with that, right? Like, it's like a game that he's playing. Look at his little, like, smile. He's so... It's funny. But the... Man, they really win on comedy comes in threes with the, spilling drinks on each other. Like, first she spits it, then she throws it, then he throws it. A three moment. But he goes from that beach shirt, but then when he goes in the oh no, it changes even... Wow, it keeps changing. Look, it becomes koi fish. When does it become fish here? I answered thus, that he'll feel better when getting it off the chest. That she'll feel better. So yeah, once they actually start talking like brass tacks, once they actually start going into the business arrangement and giving details, his shirt changes into koi fish. What does that mean? I don't know what a koi is. Well, I know it's a fish and it's in a koi lake, but I don't know anything about fish. I know they breathe water, gills, and then he turns into another shirt. I don't know what that is. What are these? Lolly slave? What is that? Is it a tree? Is it a plant life? I don't know. Do you go into more shirts? I noticed you went into another shirt in the bathroom. Yeah. There's like, what, like Mayan glyphs or something? I don't know. And then didn't you have one more? Yeah, and then you went into like a club shirt. Which is interesting that you went into the suit of cards. And then you go back to this shirt. The club shirt's interesting because, and I don't have any understanding of it, but there was a shot in here right here where it was a different, that old case. Were the different suits of cards something that happened with that previous case and I'm just forgetting it? Maybe. In which case, him thinking back and reminiscing would make him into the suit of cards. But I don't know. I don't have a good interpretation for that. So let's think. Okay, so let's think Sengoku. So he's going to take this case. I mean, he's going to take the case. I was waiting for him to take the case the entire time. He's convinced himself that he's doing it for Gain, but I think really he's doing it because he cares about Senjugahara, right? Because, I mean, think about it. Kanbaru, like the Gain connection, right? Kanbaru was literally the last person he thought of. And if that was really his hyper-focus, I feel like it would have been the first one he thought of. But instead, he was like, okay, Senjugahara, okay? Like, that was always the base of, like, who's connected to Senjugahara. And then he had to literally go to Senjugahara is connected to Araragi, who's connected to Kanbaru, that's how I'm getting back. So, he cares about Senjugahara, but he's trying to, like, rationalize and run it through his logic so that he can help her, but have a reason to help her. And he doesn't want to make it about money because she offered the sell her body thing, and he doesn't want that to happen. But he puts up the front. He has such a front of, like, the logic and the rationalization and the lying and all that stuff, like his own internal money logic, that he has to make sure it fits into that before he does anything. Oh, and he's got the club on his suit. On the top of his suit, like his necktie kind of piece, whatever that's called. Interesting. Really fun ED as well. Really good OP and ED. Mirror conversations are OP, by the way. Love me a good mirror conversation. He a real one for that. Relatable. What else do I have to yap about? Oh yeah, Sengoku. Okay. So how do we deceive Sengoku? Are we deceiving Sengoku to, like, come up with a situation that she shouldn't kill them anymore? Or convincing Sengoku that she did kill them? Because there is the Sengoku preview we saw, which could have just been a myth. It could have been just made up and, like, what she wanted to happen at the end of, what was it, Otori or whatever? Where it was, like, the next episode thing. Like, this is honestly what I was expecting to come next, is us dealing with, or like us preparing for the Sengoku showdown. That's what Kaiki's here to do. He's here to prepare and make it happen. But it's like, are we gonna because we could convince her that she got the kill, but then it's like, what? We just have a snake god walking around. I feel like Ogi, as someone that made this happen, is going to step into the picture and cause problems. Because Ogi's the one that made Sengoku go Sengoku mode. When does Ogi appear as male? Is it only in Hana? because that could be a shift if Ogi's always appeared as female up to now, and then something happens, and then Hana's in the future, and then Ogi appears as male. I mean, even that could show that something in this arc is going to happen with Ogi that's somehow going to make Ogi start acting as another gender. Or like what? I don't even know. I don't know what's up with Ogi. Is Ogi an oddity? Can Ogi just shapeshift? I don't know. That was a fun little crack theory for a minute there. Not sure how I'm feeling about it anymore. Probably not. But maybe, I don't know. We'll put it on the shelf. But yeah, so we could convince Sengoku that she got the kill successfully, but that doesn't really deal with the situation. We could convince Sengoku to like return to human somehow, or convince Sengoku that the snake god you're attached to, that's a myth. That's not real. You've been lied to, right? Because that like beats Sengoku's delusion with Kaiki making a delusion. So it's like Kaiki makes a fixed situation that beats that is able to convince Sengoku that her delusion was actually a delusion, which is funny because her delusion ended up becoming real, but maybe Kaiki will find a way to undermine her now realized delusion by showing how it was a delusion, and then that's going to make it crumple, because it is kind of on a loose foundation, because it literally came out of her like own freaking mind losing it, right, with all the snake stuff. So I could see Kaiki convincing her in a both real and a fake way, because it was actually a delusion, but then it ended up becoming real. So him convincing her, oh, oddities aren't real, you're not actually a snake god, you're just tripping, right? That would feel pretty on brand, I feel like. Because oddities aren't real. You're not actually sick. You're just a snake. But I mean that metaphorically. That kind of deal? I don't know. Love the Kaiki in the beach shirt. Love this. I'm glad we're getting Senjugahara. How is this a love story between Senjugahara and Araragi? Is Araragi going to catch wind of this? Is Araragi even going to be in this arc? Or is it more so Sengoku or Senjugahara not having told Araragi and instead going to Kaiki, who was kind of a like Araragi like love rival in a way back in Nisei? Like that's already kind of a statement on their Araragi Senjugahara relationship. Now I'm just thinking Hana. I'm thinking back to Hana, where it's like I don't remember where Senjugahara was during that. I don't remember if it was mentioned. It probably was, but I'm probably just gonna pretend like purposefully avoid remembering perfectly, because that's got me afraid of what's gonna happen to Senjugahara in this arc. You know. Is anyone gonna die? Who could die? Kambaru could be around because Kambaru's important. Senjugahara is gonna be like up in the action. It'd be crazy to kill Senjugahara. Are we gonna? Because I know there's more stuff after this. Are we gonna keep following Araragi? I mean, we have to. When's chronologically? Because after season 2, I mean, we have Hana in the future, but like, what? Like, are we gonna like have a summer vacation before Araragi moves out? Before Hana? Is Hana like the latest we'll ever see Araragi, or are the future seasons going to be in between now and Hana, or after Hana? And that's because if it's after Hana, or like the story continues after Hana, then Hana could be like a big shift where something happened to Senjugahara which caused Araragi to shift, which then caused Araragi to have to reflect, like that's a moment of change for Araragi to then deal with all the hidden stuff that he hasn't talked to us about, you know? Or the Araragi we saw could be a more mentally healthy Araragi that dealt with a bunch of the stuff that Araragi hasn't told us about. But that would also be post this, probably. I don't know. The show could go. It's literally like so hard to predict because it does so much crazy stuff. Like way back in Maoi Snail, freaking Oni Monogatari with its like, oh, it was actually after Hachikuji, and then maybe if we go with some of the interesting thematic like ways, maybe that even all of that wasn't really what happened as much as it was a lie that Gain told us. Like the show just is just insane in that way. It's just kind of absolutely insane. But yeah, I think that's all I really got right now for this episode of One Koimonogatari. Your boy be freaking starving, okay? I'm gonna go scarf down a meal. Because I should have eaten before watching. It is what it is, okay? Should be fun to look at the OP and the ED, get cooking with more ideas as to why and how all of this is happening. I mean, the why is I'm pretty happy with, but like the how we're gonna do it is a really big question. Also, Senjugahara's nose hair changes. The mask, it changes a lot. Oh my goodness, their outfits change so much. It is a constant though that she's in the school uniform. That doesn't change at all, but her mask does. Which is like he's lying to us, right? Like, oh, it was red. No, it was black. No, my shirt was this. No, my shirt was that. Ooh, bars. What the heck? So that's probably just part of the whole lying thing, or just a fun stylistic thing they're doing to show blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I think that's all I really got for this episode 1 of Koimonogatari. And to the next episode 2, of course, if you like the video, subscribe. If you're new, welcome. If you say or join the Discord and talk to me or other Monogatari fans there. But until then, until next episode, that's all. Peace.